So let's take you through the starting grid for the final on day one for Junior Road Tax. Quite a few penalties to talk through along the way. Bolowet will start from pole position, having won the pre-final earlier on. Armand Hamilton will be alongside him on the first row. Thomas Behrman and Mateo Dankovic, row 2. Thijs van Wijk and Timo Jungling ran out row 3. Krik Knorden, Thomas Ingram Hill, Boaz Maximov and Kasper Schormans ran at the top 10. Kasper Schormans was given 2 time penalties, causing a collision, 5-second time penalty, front fairing 5-second time penalty, dropping him to 10th. Taze Stevens 11th, ahead of Archie Buttle. Taze Stevens also got a penalty for front fairing, being out of position. Cameron Nelson, Freddie Ingram and Tino Sidler ran out the top 15. Laura Bubanova starts 16th, ahead of Olivier Jonkers, who got a front fairing 5-second time penalty post-race, with Jake Menton, Luca Brima, Mika van der Pavet and Callum Ghosh running out the top 20. Mate Kobehidze from Georgia in 22nd. Mika van der Pavet, then we got Callum Ghosh, Mate Kobehidze, Max Sidersky, Maxim Smith, Kenneth van Mokerke, Kaz Tobben, Matthias Jellerup, Max Cuthbert, Vlad Tomenchuk, Philip Lenk, Adam Eckstein, and then we've got Knud Nielsen and Ruben Verheyen. So, Max Cuthbert gets a 10-second time penalty for causing an avoidable collision. 5-second time penalty for push to pass. Vlad Tomenchuk, two wheels out of the tram lines on the start. Philip Lenk, a 5-second time penalty. That was the 260 front fairing. Adam Eckstein, 284, also front fairing. And Ruben Verheyen, 245, 5-second time penalty for a push to pass. Effectively bump and run, as the Australians would say. And I know the Robinson family watching in the UAE, you will understand that when you talk about Australian supercars. Had to make that reference. Or you could say it might be, well, it wouldn't be the redress unless they came back on circuit. And this is where my motorsport knowledge comes in, especially with Scott McLaughlin and Garth Tander at the Super Duke Bathurst 1000 a few years ago when Scotty Mack was running with GRM in the Volvo S60. But the revs rise. Lights are out. First time for the Junior Road Tax final on day number 1. Bolowet leads the field into T1. And Thomas Behrman gets through 3 wide. Careful using the runoff area. And it's happened again. It's happened again. We've had another couple of incidents coming together. And don't tell me, is that that's Kasper Schormans. Schormans is out. Not even getting to the exit of turn number 3. And the 240 kicks the Nassau panel in complete frustration. Oh, dearie me. We've had it in the Mini-Max, and now we've had it in Juniors. The runoff area can be used once, but there were too many overzealous drivers, in my honest opinion. And I'm not throwing names at anybody, but it just goes to show that the runoff area, it can be used on lap 1. You use it again, you are going to get caught out by race control and get a 5-second time penalty. But in the meantime, Louet leads the way. Behrman, Hamilton, Radenkovic, Knorden, Jungling, Buttle, Van Wijk. Right, let's see who else apart from Kasper Schormans. Oh, Mate Kobehidze got caught in the crossfire as well. Olivier Jonkers is down at the back end of the field. Oh, dearie me. I've got no words about that. Turn 3 is a pinch point here at the circuit. People will go for moves. And on the first lap, everyone's jockeying for position. And you've got those like Bolowet who are trying to, who had pole position, picked up the race win, and now has a slender lead over Thomas Behrman. So 45 seconds into the race. Right, Thomas Liner, race director, speaking to Kasper Schormans at the moment. As we now complete lap 2. Louet leads. Second is Hamilton, who's got through on Behrman. Radenkovic has got Jungling battling away with him, along with Krik Knorden. Krik Knorden, you need to get a sticker kit on that front bumper. I don't think they don't want to muck it up, to be honest. Taze Stevens at the moment has got the fastest lap of the race. The 282 running in 27th. puts in a 57.431. And it is the fact that Mate Kobahice and Kasper Schurmans are out. Schurmans now walking away, having had a chat with our race director. Hamilton now leads. Radenkovic sends it through on the inside of turn 10. Squeezes Behrman wide. And now Behrman comes straight back at him round the outside. Going into turn number 12. Oh, dearie me. They're all concertinaing up again. It's 3 wide. Pretty much coming down the start finish straight into turn number 2. Oh. That just goes to show that in the B&L karting series, my favourite word is now being uttered for the first time. Unpredictability. That's exactly what we've got. Oh, one of the Dams racing cars, Sebastian Koch, runs a little bit wide, coming out of turn number 6 onto the Europalan. So, Armand Hamilton leads the way. Second, Boluet. Third, Matej Radenkovic. Then it's Timo Jungling, Thomas Behrman, and then after that we have got Krit Knoren. Archie Buttle rounds out the top 7. He's being chased down by the likes of Jake Menton in 9th, and Thies van Wijk, who rounds out the top 8. Boris Maximov, the 230, last year's Euro Minimax champion, currently running up the top 10. So Jungling has got the likes of Behrman, Knoren, Buttle, et al. Not too far behind him. 10 minutes and 45 seconds on the timer, plus an additional lap. And Hamilton trying to pull away from Boluet, but that is not happening. The 224 is ahead of his chief rival, Matej Radenkovic. Radenkovic was 4th in the previous race. Oh, Krit Knoren looks to dive up the inside of Thomas Behrman at turn 11. That's not going to happen there. But there's been a send. Archie Buttle launched it up the inside of the likes of Krit Knoren and got through. Loet now pressuring Armand Hamilton into an unforced error. They are not even half a kart length apart, heading through turns 3, 4, and now 5. Behrman up the inside, retakes 4th position from Timo Jungling, but that's allowed Matej Radenkovic to scarper away into the distance. A little bit further back, that's another position gained. Archie Buttle on a bit of a tear at the moment. He's kept it round the outside of all people. That was Krit Knoren, and Knoren's going to lose another position. He has done so to Boris Maximov. My goodness. And Knoren, is he behind Van Wijk? Well, he's ahead at the minute. Coming on to lap number 7. The train is forming. And there we go. The race lead is changed once again. Boluet slingshots past Armand Hamilton into turn 2. That is first place for the Dams Racing driver. And this is not over yet. We've still got 8 minutes and 50 seconds. So grab your popcorn, grab your soft drink, or maybe your alcoholic beverage of choice, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, folks. It will be at about a couple of hours here, or maybe an hour and a quarter. However, Loet and Hamilton battling away over the race lead. This is going to allow the likes of Radenkovic, Behrman, Jungling, with the former two. Right. That is the 269 that's out. Slovakia's Martin Lischner, I'm afraid. Laura Bubanova at the moment rounds out the top 20. She represented Slovakia in this year's FIA Academy Trophy. Along with the likes of the UAE's Zain El Homossani, who also has competed in the Academy Trophy this year. But it is getting a little bit feisty. There's a move from Timo Jungling on the 296 of Matej Radenkovic. That's a change for fourth. Behrman up to third now as they make their way through into turn two. But there are still battles up and down the order. Now going to wage on right up until the checkered. Here is no exception. So Hamilton still within 2/10 of our race leader, and that person being Boluet. But now, behind Krik Knorren, there is Thies van Wijk. That's the battle for sixth place with Archie Buttle just in front. 2-2-1, running with KR Sport. And that train is climbing. I count 7 carts possibly in that train behind Archie Buttle. So you have the likes of Buttle, Knorren, Van Wijk, Maximov, Ingram, Menton, and then, well, there has been a change because Thies van Wijk has just got past Krik Knorren for 7th. Jake Menton was at the back of that train, which also included Mika van der Pavert, funny enough, who hasn't had a good time this weekend. However, at the front end, the Behrman effect has taken hold. He's into second. Jungling was looking around the outside of Armand Hamilton, going through down the Europolan into turn 7 at the chicane. Jungling now trying to get on level peggings with the Hungarian. And they've got to watch out because Radenkovic is not too far behind. Buttle is bringing along the cavalry for the ride and closing on in those in front. Tae Stevens is the fastest driver out there in terms of the fastest lap. Jungling looks up the inside of Hamilton. Hamilton gives him room, has to use the runoff area to avoid any potential contact and remains ahead for the moment. And into turn 6. Jungling sends it up the inside. Doors open for Radenkovic. What does he do? He slots back in behind the Hungarian. Now looks to the inside through into turn 7. That is Radenkovic through. 2 places dropped over 2 corners by Armand Hamilton as Behrman now tries to close in on Louet, who's looking for maximum points here today. That'll be 110 for him. Radenkovic at the moment has got a 4th. That's 49 points. He's currently 5th. That's 48. Shawmans will only pick up. Well, he'll pick up 19 points. And Jungling has to use the runoff area as well. He ran a little bit deep, possibly. Radenkovic points and goes, come on, move forward. Otherwise, I'm going to get past you. Well, I think it was I've just had a quick look. And between Radenkovic, he went for the move up the inside of Jungling, touched the right rear wheel. And Jungling had to try and get out of dodge and stay out of harm's way. Martin Lischner out. Kaz Tobben out. Olivier Jonkers. We're now down to 29 drivers out of 35. 2 minutes and 50 still to go. As Boaz Maximov is ahead, is ahead of Krik Knorren. So now we've got some battles up and down the order. Louet versus Behrman. Tae Stevens, another new fastest lap of the race. 56.023. He's now in 14th. And Boris Maximov and Krit Knorren, this is for 7th. And there's a lunge from Radenkovic. Youngling gets the switch back. Hamilton trying to get through as well. It was nearly 3 wide down the Europolan there into turn 7. And they still all make it through, but there has been a change. So Youngling ahead of Hamilton, who now has overtaken Radenkovic for 4th place. Youngling defending, going down into turn 10. And Radenkovic trying to get the run through into 11. Not going to quite happen there, but what is Radenkovic going to do? He's going to keep it to the outside. Will he get the cut back? Yes, he will, but he gets slightly, not impeded, but I think Armin Hamilton had the right to keep it on the racing line. That's exactly what he did. However, the race leaders, Behrman's got the lead. Behrman's got the lead off of Louette. Thomas Behrman now has the lead going through into turn 5. He got the job done through into turn 2, had to go for it. And now Louette's retaken that position back. Oh, well, heavens to Betsy. Here we go. Into turn 7. And Louette retakes the lead back from Behrman. It was only a handful of corners. Make that 4. Or 3 or 4 at best. Now into turn 10. Louette trying to stretch the legs on the Tony kart underneath him. He's about 2 to 3 kart lengths in front of Thomas Behrman. And Archie Buttle now going for 4th. Buttle went for 4th and he got it on Hamilton. Hamilton gets the cut back. 3 wide as Maximov amongst the pair of them. Boris Maximov, in his first season as a rookie, really starting to hit his stride. And of all people, never would I have thought I would say the words that Boris Maximov does a number on Armin Hamilton. Mika van der Pavat is also in there. And now, keep your eyes on the battle for... Oh, it's 3 wide coming out of turn 6. 2-3-2, that's Jake Menton. And Mika van der Pavat towards the outside down the Europolan. Did they make it all through? Yeah, van der Pavat lost a couple of places. However, at the... Oh, that's a dive and a half on the inside of Archie Buttle. And that was Boris Maximov. Maximov, one of the youngest drivers, if not the youngest driver in the field, is having a renaissance on his final race weekend, or one of his final race weekends as a rookie. However, we go to the front of the field. Last lap, we've got about 1,100 meters to go. Louette versus Behrman at the front end of the field. And a 10th separated them across the line as they now are on lap number 16. Louette looks over the right shoulder. Behrman gets very close to the rear bumper into turn 7 off of the Europolan. I think gave it a little bit of a slight touch. If you do hit the rear bumper as somebody else, for those folks watching at home, not really introduced to the world of karting, the front bumper has a couple of clips. If you impact the front of it hard enough by hitting the back bumper as somebody else or going over the curbs in the wrong way, it will put those clips in. If that happens, that means you've had contact. But Louette, it's double delight for the young Belgian. That's a maximum score of 110 points. As that was one of the Trinity karts coming out of the final corner, taking out the cone on the left-hand side. But Louette by 88 thousandths of a second. Proficiat Junge, well done. Thomas Behrman close to a first victory in the B&O Karting Series this season, but Louette has done the double. That's a max score for him. And you know what? The person who lost a little bit more is the man that's walking over to his kart right now, Kasper Schormans. That is his worst finish so far this season. But Louette takes it by 88 thousandths, ahead of Behrman, Youngling, Maximov, Buttle, Van Wyk, Hamilton, Knorren, Stevens and Radenkovic ran out the top 10. Cameron Nelson takes 11th, ahead of Mika van der Pavat. Then we've got Max Cuthbert, Freddie Ingram, Matthias Jaderup, Jake Menton, Max Sadurski, Knud Nielsen, Laura Bubenova, and Ruben Verheyen rounding out the top 20. Rounding out the 28, the finished all the 17 laps of racing. Sebastian Koch, Thomas Ingram Hill, Tino Sidler, Kenneth van der Markerke, Philip Lenk, Maxim Smith, Callum Gersh, and Vlad Tomenchuk, rounding out the 28-strong Adam Eckstein. From the Czech Republic, out on lap 14, Olivier Jonkers out on lap 10, Kaz Tobin and Martin Lischner out on lap 6, with Luca Brima out on lap 2. But the biggest news, Kasper Schumanns and Mate Kobahice out on turn 3 of the opening lap.